So Americans just aren't spending money like we used to. And this is actually hurting millions of people, but also certain industries. Today I want to break down what I've recently seen and experienced, but what is happening all across the country, especially in the state of California. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but first, all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So just recently, I was reading an article that somebody sent me. This is the article. I was reading this just the other day. This article says more adults are ordering fast food kids meals. Here's why. Now, when I was reading this, the first thing in my mind was many adults are conscious about their weight and they're just eating less. They just don't need a Big Mac meal. They don't need a 20-piece McNugget meal. Right? They don't need that. They're good with a Happy Meal. Got a burger, fries, drink, and then you got maybe some apples or a little toy. That's it. And I thought that's great. Well, then I was reading this article, and I want to read this to you. It says, for decades, fast food has been America's common denominator. No matter if you were rich or poor or somewhere in the middle, you could always count on a quick, cheap meal at a burger joint, fried chicken restaurant, or taco shop. Today, fast food is still fast. However, many argue it is no longer cheap. That is true. Now, just recently, I was down in Las Vegas, and we spent the majority of our time eating at different restaurants and different fast food places, and ate in just a little bit. But what I found was prices were actually cheaper than what they were last year, or the last time I was there. Now, what I think is interesting about this is more people now can't afford a simple meal. And it doesn't matter if it's in Las Vegas or here in Seattle or somewhere else. It's completely different. Let me keep reading this to you. It says, according to data collected by Finance Buzz, fast food menu prices have risen between 39% and 100% over the past 10 years, outpacing inflation. McDonald's prices have doubled, Popeyes is up 86%, and Taco Bell prices have climbed by 81%. Meanwhile, we still see there are these deals, right? These buy one, get one for $1 at McDonald's. The McDonald's meal for $5, right? You get the nuggets, the burger, the fries, right, and the drink, all for $5. They're trying to compete with Wendy's, trying to compete with Burger King and places like that. KFC, for instance, which they're now moving out of Kentucky and they're moving to Texas. Why? It's cheaper. It's cheaper. That's why they're going. But guess what? KFC was trying to compete with all these other big restaurants and big chains, and they were offering things like a $5 fill-up. Well, this was years ago. Now, for the same meal, it's like $9 to $10. It's ridiculous. It says inflation, meanwhile, has only risen 31% since 2014. It says at most quick service restaurants, a meal deal will cost you more than $10, if not closer to $20. This has led to a quiet revolution. More adult customers are opting for kids' meals. Now, the person that sent me this also left a little comment. This is what they wrote. So the email I received, this is what they wrote. This person says, as a McDonald's worker, I'm always seeing interesting things. For instance, a college basketball team came into our restaurant this past weekend and their coach ordered 30 Happy Meals for the team. When I told him that we were out of the toys, he replied, that's fine. These are for the team anyway, and they won't want them. It's just cheaper doing this than letting the boys order their meals separately. Person went on and said, I found it interesting that even a college sports team is ordering Happy Meals as a way to save money. A Happy Meal is supposed to be a child's meal. Okay? It's a child-sized portion. It's a little smaller cheeseburger. Normally it's supposed to be smaller portion of fries, a little bit of apples, a toy, put it in a little box, right? With a little M on the top that you can hold. Perfect. It's supposed to be a kid's meal. That's what they're supposed to eat. But now we're starting to see adults opting for the kids' meal as well. And you see this not just at McDonald's. When I was at Denny's recently, that's exactly what people were getting. The whole family sat down, and that's what they got. They all got a kids' portion. Now, I know before, many restaurant employees would say, no, we can't serve you this. It's only for children. And people were really upset because it's a kid's portion. It's not meant for just kids. It's just a kid's portion size. That's it. Well, that's exactly what people are ordering. If they want to go out, well, they tell their whole family, sorry, you're not going to order off the expensive menu. Don't get that steak. No. Instead, order off this menu. Off the little deals. The deal of the day. Get the kids' portions. That's what we're here to get. Now, what I think is interesting about this is kind of where we've been headed. But it's creating a problem. Look at this right here. It says, California's $20 fast food minimum wage, job losses, higher food prices, and increased automation. Now, it says California restaurants lost 10,700 jobs, making it the worst performing year outside of a recession. That was just from a couple days ago. That's what they said. Now, here's what I think is interesting. What we are now facing, because all these restaurants are trying to increase their profitability. The problem is the things that are profitable, right? Sodas, fries, right? Those are things that are profitable. People are not buying what they used to. They're not getting the large sodas, not getting the large fries, especially when a large fry, especially at McDonald's, costs what, $4, $5, $6? I'm not exactly sure what it costs, but it's up there. It's expensive. In many cases, it's more expensive than the burger. But this is why I bring this to your attention. Be aware of what you are spending your money on. The American people right now are not spending their money on fast food. They're spending their money on, groceries for their home, utilities, medical costs, right? Debt. This is a huge one. There are so many people out there that are simply financing their life. This is food, utilities, right? Medical bills. They're financing it all. They're putting it on credit cards because they can't afford it. Nobody's changing their lifestyle. They're simply leading the same lifestyle, but now they're having issues. Here's one thing I want to leave you with. We are about to see a massive change. We are about to see thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of employees get laid off this year in 2025. We already know about 80,000 federal employees are going to be let go come September 30th, if not a little bit sooner. That's just a start. So all these employees, where do you think they're going to go? You think someone's going to leave the IRS and go to the Department of Education? No. They're not going to leave one government agency to go to a different one because the government's not going to hire them. There's going to be a lot of pushback there. Do you think somebody's going to leave a fast food restaurant to go to a different one? Potentially. But again, they're just going from one industry or one store to the next. Same industry. Here's the reason why you need to understand what's happening. As all these different employees lose their jobs in tech, in finance, in things like hospitality, and even a government position, they have to go somewhere. The most likely outcome is they're going to go towards the fast food industry, towards restaurants. Because even though I hate to say it, I think many restaurant workers, they work very hard and they're good at their jobs. But based off of what experts tell us is the fast food industry is the bottom. That's where everyone's getting in. So what we are about to see is hundreds of thousands of employees flocking to the fast food industry to get a job. But at the same time, these restaurants have to remain profitable. So they're actually eliminating positions using artificial intelligence, using robots, and using systems to automate the entire process. Everything from the ordering process to filling up the drinks to making the burgers. Many restaurants are going towards full automation. As they do, more and more workers will leave. We'll continue to see prices increase. And again, it will be chaos for the American people. So that's what we know as of today. But again, as we get more information, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.